I believe we need to have the goal to never be surprised by world events, where we absolutely see these things coming ahead of time. I believe that's the heritage of God's people, and we can walk in that. I believe we should never be surprised by accidents and things like that that happen to our people. We should see them coming, and we should be able to thwart most of them. At least give a clear warning. So if they disobey, it's only disobedience. I say only disobedience, but you know what I'm talking about there. Now, I believe, there are ways that we grow in this authority and this integrity and accountability so that God can trust us with better stuff. And that's what we're after. That's why throughout this conference, sewn in with a lot of ministry and a lot of things going on and a lot of talking about Revelation, you're going to have sewn throughout it character and other issues that we believe are absolutely essential for God to trust us with the good stuff. Integrity. Okay, you okay with that? And you know what? Even if you've heard it over and over and know it and can recite it, you need to hear it again and again and again. This friend of mine who's a doctor, he can explain it much better than I can, but he talked about how every thought, how your mind runs on electrical impulses, electrical charges. Every thought is like a billionth of an amp or whatever, but this is a well-known fact. I said, there are, I can't remember what you call them, but thoughts kind of make jumps between these transmitters. What are they? Okay, that sounds cool. But he said after about 29 times, an average of 29 times, what becomes a transmitter becomes a passageway. After repetition, it takes about 29 times where something becomes subconscious to us either. And most overwhelming decisions you make every day are subconscious, not conscious. It's who you are. It's you. You don't have to think about it consciously because that's you. When you walk, you don't think, well, I'm going to put this foot here. I'm going to put this one there. You just walk. Isn't our Christian life called a walk? It should be normal who we are to love people. We shouldn't have to think, I got to love this guy. It should be normal to react in that way. It should be normal to react with patience. And this is going beyond, but until we get to that point, we go to the scripture, we want to be impatient, we want to deck this guy, but no, the word says patience. But every time we do that, we're building this bridge in our mind until it becomes who we are. That's why I heard one man say, he said, my wife has prepared several thousand meals for me in our lifetime. He said, I can only remember a handful that were so outstanding that I can only remember a handful. He said, but all the rest of those kept me going. And sometimes what we need in our sermons and everything else, it's not new stuff. It's that repetition. And most meetings are not meant, they don't need to be spectacular, but they're nourishment. They keep you going. You hear what I'm saying? So we want to develop and we want to repeat. There are a lot of things we do in our ministry. There are things that I write that I feel like I need to put somewhere and in some way in every book I write. And I'm doing it on purpose. You may think I'm just repeating myself over and over. That's true, but I'm doing it on purpose. Trying to build those neural passageways where people think these thoughts over and over until it becomes them. It's the way the truth is. We need the repetition.